right, man. Oh, yeah. That is a party starter and a half, my man. All right, we made it. Mike, it's Thursday. I hope you're thirsty, my man.
Always thirsty for more.
We're here, baby. We made it. Rocking out a little traveling Wilburys for you there once again. I can't resist. You know what happened is, and I had on the docket, actually, I was planning on doing another Tom Petty song from his second solo album, I believe, that Jeff Lynne also produced, and he wrote the song I was going to play. It was probably in our show notes leading up to the gig, but I forewent that because I was kind of perusing the Jeff Lynne catalog there on the Spotifys, and it kept hitting into the traveling Wilburys, and then I was like, fuck it, man, I'm gonna rock through the album, right? Volume 1, Traveling Wilbury. Every song is so good.
Yeah, well, it's a power band, you know?
It's the supergroup of all time, man, and each jam is catchy, it's fun, it's tight, it's concise, it tells a story, start to finish, there's lyrics, there's an A, B, and C part, you know, it's like just the way music used to be written. Amazing stuff, man.
Yeah.
So I went down
the
journey.
want to know how they all got together, though, and produced the song without somebody in the background being like, DJ Khaled, another one. You know? Was it like Tom Petty in the back? Like, yo, Tom Petty!
Another one.
Yes.
Over and over and over and over again.
As a matter of fact, DJ Khaled, you should start getting into remakes.
Wow.
You just play the Tom Petty song and do another one every once in a while in there.
Another one.
You know?
I forgot I loaded that one up like a week ago. Just kind of popped in my head. I was like, wait, I think I got a little DJ Khaled in here somewhere.
You know he's going to come up.
Great call. Yeah, you're right. There wasn't one guy just sitting there. Like Jeff Lynne, he didn't just produce the album by the Traveling Wilburys, but he was a writer on the team. He contributed musically, stylistically.
Everybody on the team had to contribute musically.
Well, what's crazy, too, is as I kind of cruised through the little catalog there on their Volume 1 album, it was very distinct who wrote which song. You're like, oh, here comes Roy Orbison's jam, and like this is Bob Dylan's song. You know, it's like just it's there. The styles were so unique that you could just hear it immediately how the song even starts, where it go like segues to, right? Like the B parts are just very unique to certain artists, and it just was really fun going through it and kind of not having listened to it in a long time, being able to recognize the different, like, oh, this is George Harrison. Of course, it's soft and flaccid and almost sleepy. You know what I'm saying? Like half asleep, but still fun, still catchy. I don't know how he does it. You know,
soft and flaccid, yeah.
Yeah, but really good stuff. Yeah. I ended up saving maybe half the album to my guitar tab playlist so I can, you know, sip some coffee, smoke a little sativa, and jam to the guitar over the weekend. So I'm pretty excited. Learning some new tunes, man. Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Love learning the new tunes. And lately, especially this year, I've been really big on CCR, Tom Petty, you know, just kind of getting into the old school, you know, songwriters' music. It's fun to strum on the guitar.
Yeah.
You know
Sounds like you got a lot of free time on your hand there.
I don't. It's shocking. I squeeze it in to pockets. I live and die in pockets of time. You have no idea.
Well, speaking of years going by, tomorrow's Nona's birthday. Oh, well, the day this comes out, Nona's birthday. Happy birthday,
Nona. Right on. Looking younger every year, and I'm not just saying that. She literally looks younger than our dad. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. 17 years apart. 17 years apart. One guy's rapidly aging. The other lady is de-aging. Simultaneously.
But even his brother, our uncle, looks great for his age. Looks fucking great for his age. Still looks older than his mom. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It has a lot to do, in my opinion, with the fact that she grew into being a woman living in the old country on the farm, eating basic needs and working in the sun. That is like the healthiest way to grow and live.
Not to mention, dude, she'll come home with groceries. She'll go to make dinner. She'll cut open a potato. There'll be like a ring inside it. She'll be like, "No, this is GMO." Puts it in the bag. We'll return it to the store.
I'll be honest, it's such a bold and awesome move that rarely do I see take place anywhere. And I myself, I'm going to be honest, I don't think I have the courage to go back with produce and return it to the grocery store.
No, and then she'll even tell me how she like gave them a piece of her mind.
Oh, you know it, yeah, man.
like it's the kid at Jewel that decided to buy this Chinese GMO potato.
Em and I, we are organic now. We have gone down the road. It is so much more expensive, so we are a little bit tighter on what we buy and what we waste. However, the reason we went down that route is I was paying attention to a lot of the various stuff going on. I know there's all the GMO stuff and whatever, and I was kind of getting bothered by the fact that like every potato I get is either from Bill Gates' malaria mosquito farm or it's from like Chile, or some like country, like I was cutting into an onion. It said South Africa.
All the way from South Africa.
South Africa, bro, on the sticker. I had enough. I said no thanks, no more. I could handle South America, right?
Actually, that should cost more because the way South Africa turned, I bet you it was the white hands that picked that fruit.
I know, but those are the slaves now there. It's backwards, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, the whites are oppressed now in South Africa. They're the ones working the fields.
It's really wild.
Crazy.
Did you see, I read, I think it was in Democracy Now! Today, they did a little snippet on how a couple of the countries, Ghana included, or it was hosted in Ghana, these African countries have a coalition now, and they're demanding reparations from the European and American countries for slavery, even though it doesn't really make sense because it's their people who started the slavery.
What's that? I just got breaking news. Yeah, breaking news. 4 countries in Africa just experienced a coup.
That's right. Hey-o. Yeah, man.
Their leader was assassinated, and there was a coup.
You see, the FBI director Christopher Wray is just pointing at a list of 17 countries, and he says, "Ghana, you wanna be added to this list? 'Cause it could be very easy to add you to this list." And if you don't know what I'm talking about, 17 coups d'états have taken place in Africa over the last year. It's insane. Do you know why? Because they announced they were going to go on their own gold-backed standard, and all of a sudden we snuck in our little CIA agents in there and said, "We will just destabilize all of you."
Like, could you imagine? They're all sitting there. There's like 17 leaders. They're about to sign this document. And after the last guy signs it, one guy in D.C. just says into a microphone, "They signed it," and then all 17 drop.
Yes, dude. It literally was almost that fast. I think it was over the course of 4 months. Like 9 of the coups happened.
So many coups.
Oh, yeah. It's good stuff. And I dig it because
great.
I just like saying the word coup d'etat.
Well, we established that.
3/4, folks. We are 3/4
You
out
love
of the
French.
closet.
That's all I gotta say. But dude, no, you know what it is with Noda, man? It is. It's really hard to be an American who wants to eat organic, right? Because I'm gonna go to the store, I'm gonna spend fucking $4 a pound on these goddamn apples, and then in 5 days they're spoiled. I gotta throw the rest of them out,
Sure.
But
yeah.
She buys apples, they taste great. After a couple weeks, they don't look too good. What happens? You come home one day, there's just 6 jars of applesauce.
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Or there's like an apple cake. It's like
you sustain, baby. Oh, yeah.
That's how you do it,
Well, we switched to organic because we were, shopping through the store, and here at the King Supers, they try to do some local stuff, I guess. I used to not really believe it, but we were going through the onion section, and I wanted to avoid the West African onions or whatever I was getting, and so I looked in the organic, and the onion we bought is from Plattsville, Colorado, and I thought, you know what? Should I buy the Colorado onion or the African onion? Which onion would I more enjoy eating, and which is probably better for me? I went with the Colorado onion.
Probably tastes better.
It tasted fantastic. When I cut into it, I had the tears rolling down the face and everything, man.
Oh, juicy. Yeah, dude, that onion from Africa was probably picked last year.
That's the point. What I'm trying to make is there's no taste in these items for, the globalization, experiment, kind of a farce, kind of blew up in our face because we used to eat local. That used to be the thing. And then we'd export our awesome local stuff. Now we're just pulling in crap from other countries that's picked when it's not even fresh.
It's actually really funny because we didn't even realize, but we kind of grew up as if we lived in a world where there wasn't a globalization of fruit and produce. Because
that's right.
If it was like not orange season, our parents wouldn't buy oranges.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I always thought that was so ridiculous.
Well, we also grew up going to farms and picking fruit off the trees.
But other kids, they just had an orange in their house all year round.
That's right, dude. We called them rich kids, actually. Those are the rich kids.
But man, I'm actually all on now that I'm a little older and I actually appreciate the taste and everything. No, dude, it's better to just have an orange when it's orange season and they taste fucking good. You know what I mean? I'd rather just have a good orange for 2 months out of the year than have shitty oranges all year round.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I mean?
Yeah, dude. And
can I get some goddamn seeds in my fruit? I know my fruit is supposed to have seeds.
Well, that's why I think that's why everything tastes shitty, because the seed being in there is key to there being flavor. And, there's a big kind of conspiracy out there about why they've de-seeded everything. Allegedly, according to elements of the Bible and, biblical text, there's stuff about how God created the fruits and the seeds for man to eat, all of it. And the reason everyone is so sick is because we're no longer consuming seeds anymore.
Yeah, it could be. I know why they did it, though. They did it so you can't grow the fruit.
They don't want you to grow your own shit. That's exactly why, dude.
That's literally Monsanto said, if you grow their food, they'll sue you.
So did you see how they're essentially phasing out tobacco in, I believe, the UK? They're signing into a law where they're going to mark a date, and it's some arbitrary date, but it'll be the point where if you were born after that point, you will never be allowed to buy tobacco.
Yeah, because they're going to keep raising the age.
They're going to keep raising the age, exactly.
No, dude, I've told you, this is why I know we both smoke weed, and we're all like, yeah, bro, free weed, legalization, free
right on,
and everything.
Bro!
But no, dude, I firmly believe this is their plan. Don't smoke cigarettes. You know who smokes cigarettes? The hardest working guys at work.
That's right. Yes.
They bust their ass for 45 minutes and then they go take their smoke break.
You rip a cig.
So, what they want is all these mellowed out stoners that just, I don't know, man, what's that? War in Gaza? I just want everybody to be peaceful, and they just want everybody to be stoned, and what did that one guy say? It's literally they keep giving us just enough.
Yes. Yeah.
To
keep us subdued.
Not take away their power.
Absolutely.
That's their only goal.
I kind of like where you're headed there mentally. I've been also thinking, the weed is out there the weed now is not the weed the folks were smoking in the 60s and the 70s, man. I mean, we're smoking high, powerful drugs, essentially. I mean, the THC levels in some of this stuff. Check out some of these edibles, man. They knock you out. It's insane.
Oh, the other day I finally realized where I was. I came to, and these crackheads were asking me if I was okay. I was smoking that wax.
You had too much, man.
I was shitting on the side of the road. I don't know what happened. No, dude, but it's terrible. One of the things I was thinking about the other day is it shouldn't be easy to get weed, right? It should be one of those things where there is an obstacle to getting it, because then, if you're not good at operating on it, and it kind of just is bad. You know what I mean? Some guys just can't do anything when they're high.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you had to go out of your way to get the weed, and you're just going to be a lazy bum, I don't know. I just think you.
Well, I support growing it. I think if you can grow it, you should be able to smoke it.
No, I don't think we should legalize it at all.
I'm not talking about legal. I'm just saying if you can find some seeds and grow your own pot, you should be able to grow your own pot. And the same thing with this tobacco getting illegalized. I think people should start growing their own wacky tobacco. I mean, no, I grow the wacky tobacco. We got to start growing the tobacco.
Hard to grow, I think. You need like an actual farm. But you just need space.
No, I was wondering, like, we figured out how to grow pot indoors. There must be a way with some UV lights and everything that you could grow a little patch of your own tobacco in an indoor herb garden and just be able to dry out and smoke your own tobacco.
Yeah, you're right.
And I kind of want to do it, honestly. And if you do some research behind tobacco versus marijuana, natural tobacco actually has a lot of health benefits for you.
Okay.
It's actually got a lot of good stuff for you. I'm telling you.
I'm going to have to push back on that.
I said natural tobacco, not the stuff that they sell.
Okay.
It has
natural tobacco. Okay. Natural tobacco has nicotine. Nicotine is like any other drug. Does have benefits, does have a lot of harm. Any benefits you get from even homegrown tobacco, whatever, any benefits you get is negated by the combustion of organic material that you are inhaling. That is the carcinogen.
All right, well, you could say that. Did you look it up?
I don't even need to look it up, dude. I understand what you're saying. It's the same thing with marijuana. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, it's so good. Okay. If you're extracting the active ingredients in the weed, and then you're taking some fucking, like, little dab of an oil, not a dab like a dab, but like, you're dropping oil into your, under your tongue. Like, that's one thing. But anytime you are igniting organic material, the smoke coming off of it has way more carcinogens. It's way more harmful to you than any benefit you might get. There's a reason no pharmaceutical company is giving you something to smoke.
Yeah, so I wasn't saying it's healthy for you as in physically healthy. I was saying there are positive benefits. Mentally, it's stimulating. Tobacco has a lot of just positive elements to it when inhaled. I'm not talking about health, dude. I'm a runner. All right, number one, like, I would never be like, hey, dude, smoke this tobacco and then go run with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know, but you're talking about, okay, maybe a little bit of a stimulation and, like, maybe a slight increase in certain, like, in certain things.
Just take a look.
But man, it's so bad for you to smoke anything. It's so bad to smoke anything.
I'm not debating that, man. I'm just talking about, I like to get high. I don't smoke weed because I think it's healthy for my lungs. I smoke weed because I like to get high. And with tobacco,
it's like this crazy thing. It's just like abortion.
You could let me finish. You could let me finish.
That's what
You could, or not.
I know there's a delay, so I couldn't tell if you were skipped. I didn't know if you were done.
Let me finish.
Go ahead, finish. Go.
But if you don't want to be high all the time, and you would like to smoke something recreationally, which I think is fine. I think we're adults and we should be allowed to do what we want to our bodies. And you don't want to be in a stupor and zombified from our 98% THC pot, but you do want to smoke some stuff. The cigarettes that they sell are filled with rat poison and shit because these corporations want to kill us. But if you were to grow your own natural tobacco and put it in a little pipe, take a puff of some tobacco to take a break from your hard day's work, I think that right there would be fine. It wouldn't be healthy for you physically, but you would probably be able to take a break, relax, and stimulate your mind a little bit. Get the blood pumping, maybe like get some thoughts rolling in there. And that's why I've heard and read about how, tobacco is actually a really good thing to do as opposed to smoking cigs, like, menthol cigarettes, or, that's why cigars are supposedly much better for you mentally, and why a lot of rich people, wealthy intellectuals, they like to smoke cigars and have a little cognac. It's about the brain stimulation and, the mental processing.
Yeah, I disagree. It should all be illegal. Tobacco, weed, all of it.
So, folks, Mike became a square overnight. I don't know if anyone knows this. He apparently is against everything now. That's cool. That's his game. Not for me.
I'm actually a Quaker. I don't know.
I'm pro all things. Mike's against all things. So welcome to our pro against show.
I think we've just proven over and over again that left to our own devices, we're terrible people. We make terrible decisions. Look how fat, lazy, and stoned everybody is walking around Chicago. Get out of here, man. We ruined our society by just allowing everybody to give in to their all urges.
Right on, man. And I couldn't agree more. We have descended into quite a bit of madness culturally, and hopefully there's a way back. I don't know if there is, but maybe if we got rid of the cell phones. But either way,
we gotta wait till Hamas takes over.
Personally, well, I'm personally kind of a glass half full man myself, and I like to look at the bright side of things. And yes, we do have a lot of stoned, lazy people who probably, when presented with an intense situation, wouldn't even know what was going on, let alone be able to react or do anything positive, which is why this story of the Houston hero really got me. And I thought, what's that?
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, finally. Hey, folks, we agree. All right.
Can I add something to what you were saying, though, real quick? I just saw this thing at one of these intersections. It's this new thing they're trying out. They're putting a strip of LED light. So, like, you know, like when you walk off the street onto the sidewalk, there's like a little 2-foot area where it's like off-colored and they have like nubs for grips.
Yes, yeah, I have seen those actually.
We have them because of the ice and everything, you know, in the wintertime.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Keeps you from slipping and everything.
Right.
Helps like the wheelchairs, I guess. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. My point is, we have these like rectangles with like an off color from the cement. It's got little nubs and it's for traction. And now what they're trying at some of these intersections, obviously the white neighborhoods, they're putting a strip of LED lights before it so that when you're walking on your cell phone,
wow,
you'll see either a green light or a red light.
No, we need to start issuing. We need cops. We need cops walking the beat, issuing tickets to people on their phones while walking.
No. If you're about to walk in front of into the street without looking, the cop should just hit you in the face with his baton. That should be your wake-up call. Hit to the face with a fucking baton. Dude, did I tell you about the immigrant in Home Depot that ran into my van?
Like walking? Or what are we talking about here? Driving
he was
or
walking around the parking lot. So there's just a mob of immigrants at every Home Depot.
I believe they're migrants, and yes, they're doing that here in Denver. They're just camping out, essentially, around Home Depot.
So I'm trying to find a parking spot, and this guy is wandering literally back and forth on his phone, and I didn't even realize it. He takes this sharp left as I'm passing him, and my mirror hits him.
All right, and mirror broken.
He looks at me like, what are you gonna do? What are we gonna do here? If anything, you need to pay for my fucking mirror.
Well, no, in his country, you get out and brawl, and somebody machetes the other guy, and everybody goes their separate ways.
Frank, they are not sending the men like they used to. These fucking faggots. I don't know where they are coming. They are such pussies. These are not the fucking immigrants we used to work with, man. I'm telling you.
The Mexicans in our day, man, were men.
You know what? They were Mexican. Those are real men. I don't know where these guys are coming from.
I don't know if you've seen this. It's all over the Twitter sphere. That X, formerly known as Twitter, they are showing a lot of images of these fellas coming over through the border with like UN IDs, and they're like part of the UN army.
That's not good.
People are claiming that, allegedly, that we may be under some sort of invasion, actually, by the UN army.
We might need a couple more Houston heroes.
We need some Houston heroes, folks! Did you see this story? I thought it was fantastic. I felt like it reminded me of you, honestly.
Yeah, this is the one I'm thinking of, yeah, but there's been a couple in the news lately.
Probably all from Houston. Texas might be the last place we have patriotic Americans. So here we go, Houston hero.
As Officer John Gibson sat bleeding on this Houston highway, a barrage of bullets soared through the air around him. Come on! An unlikely hero springing into action, bystander John Lawley dragging the injured 29-year-old behind his truck and out of the line of fire.
And I saw him get shot, and I knew he got shot because he buckled to the ground, and then he tried to stand back up, and then he buckled again.
Look at me.
Loudly comforting Officer Gibson, who was shot in the leg during the exchange of fire with a suspected carjacker.
The video is crazy. The guy is
insane.
literally running forward, and you see the cops running with their guns, and you just hear bullets flying.
And to not have a gun and stay and do anything in a gunfight is... Whew,
Oh, man.
balls.
My hair is standing on end right now, dude. I'm literally got chills. It's incredible, dude.
Can we get a tailor to custom make pants for this guy? His balls don't fit.
Yeah, we need something to cup those watermelons between his legs.
Hey, I'm still here with you, buddy. You hear me? Yeah. What's your name? John. My name's John, too.
I said, I want to let you know.
Hey, John, are you looking for a job?
Be
Because we could really use you in Uvalde.
Oh, my God, man. Wow. Wow.
You know, when bullets fly, you run in. I like it.
What is
like the cut of your jib there.
The reason why I like this and I thought of you immediately is what do you think the percentage is of people that run into the fire versus away?
It's so low, and everybody wants to think they're gonna do what this guy does. But the problem is, once the bullets start flying, you can't think. Well, most people, they just react. Even this guy, it was probably more of a reaction than anything he's actually saying he thought.
That's what I'm
You know
thinking.
what I mean?
He just gut reacted and blacked out and just did what he did because he just instinctually knew that was what he had to do.
Is he a veteran?
No, I think he's just a criminal. I'm not kidding.
Oh, he's just a criminal. Yeah, okay.
No,
same thing. Same. We all fight our own battles.
Well, the reason I like this is because how they describe this dude later on.
hey, the officer already put a tourniquet on your leg. I knew he was going through pain. And I know when you're going through that type of pain, like just somebody talking to you and being there with you and like holding your hand is probably going to take your mind off a lot of that.
And I know this is an audio podcast, so just so you know, this guy looks like the last guy you would want if you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's overweight, slobbish looking. Neck beard.
Like
he had
most
the whole
people
thing.
would cross the street if they saw him walking the other way on the sidewalk. You know?
Yes.
And look at this guy.
You normally would not give this man the time of day.
And he just sat there. Yeah, the empathy and the.
Well, to go into the firefight and drag this dude's body out of it while he's bleeding and then hold him there and be with it's just mind-blowing to me.
Who was wanted for multiple carjackings and aggravated robbery.
Oh, I can't tell. Hold on one.
Excuse me?
I think they're talking about the guy they're shooting at, I hope. I can't remember, but the other guy's a criminal too, I believe.
I thought we were dealing with an Armageddon situation.
Who was
With
wanted
the
for
guys,
multiple...
they'll do the task, but you got to clear the record.
No, they're going after this dude. The reason also I'm obsessed with this story too is we've spent 2.5 years defunding the police and everybody marching with. We just had a riot go down in Cop City the other day where the cops had to just like bulldoze through leftists and Antifa, protesting that dude, Gutierrez Tortuga guy. Remember that we covered? Who got shot protesting? They're at it again. Like, everybody hates the cops so much. But, like, what the fuck are you gonna do if you're stopped on the highway and some maniac who just stole a car is just blasting through with a gun?
Yeah, seriously.
Seriously,
yes.
You're gonna call the cops, man. I'm just saying, it's just such an insane scenario. Can we at least for one moment respect the cops here? I mean, the video footage is nuts, dude. These cops have their guns out and they are running into the fire.
I know. Nobody wants that job at that point,
No, because, and think about it, in the back of all these guys' minds is, I have to take this guy out. And when I do, I'll be sitting in the next cell right next to Derek Chauvin.
I know. Could you imagine?
So how do you go through the training and your mindset and the psychology of knowing that, like, you have to stop this man from murdering others, but once you stop him, you will probably be thrown in prison and the entire country will hate you?
Think about how many of those Derek Chauvin went through. Now he's rotting away in prison.
It's crazy to me. I really thought a lot about all the cop hate, Derek Chauvin, the glorification and sanctification of George Floyd, and how we ruined the life of Kyle Rittenhouse. You know, like, it's just so crazy what all unfolded.
Ruined? I wish they did that to me. Jesus Christ, that guy's walking away with millions.
I know. I think he's in like a current like battle with Whoopi Goldberg for some. I really hope he gets the best of Whoopi.
I hope he takes everything, including the weave. With fucking fake dreads out of here.
All right, well, I think we know what happened. I don't have much more of the clip anyways, but this guy, he helped the cop get saved, and the dude died. The criminal. He died in the shootout.
In the shootout, yeah. So
I'm glad the hero story is getting more hype nationally than the dude who got killed by these cops. I'm sure there should have been or could have been some sort of BLM, Antifa reaction to this, but instead we're going to celebrate the hero.
Yeah, because it's Texas.
I
If
know.
it was New York, I'm sure they'd find a way to prosecute him.
Daniel Penny. Where are my Daniel Pennies at out there,
Poor
man?
Daniel Penny.
Beloved Michael Jackson impersonator.
Well, since we're talking about cops and how much everybody hates them,
That's right, man.
I don't know if you know this, but we have a serious problem with our cops in Chicago.
What's going on with your cops in Chicago?
Man, it's not good. I really hope you are ready for this one.
I feel it like it's going to be a good one.
Data presented during today's city council meeting from Free to Move, a coalition advocating for a more racially equitable system of traffic safety, shows black drivers in Chicago were 6 times more likely to get pulled over. The study analyzed over 4.6 million stops over 19 years in the city.
It's kind of predictable to be a black driver and be pulled over regardless of what community that you're in.
However, Fraternal Order of Police President John Catanzara tells ABC7 traffic stops happen in the highest crime neighborhoods. And while people think there's racial disparity, he says,
which happen to be black.
The cop is black?
No. They're saying they pull more people over in the bad neighborhood.
For sure.
And in Chicago, it just so happens our bad neighborhoods are the black neighborhoods.
It's the same here in Denver. We have 5 points. Everybody knows that.
It's just you got to hear this. This is the best part. Wait till you hear the white savior.
it's about taking down criminals. Others disagree.
I think I saw 1.9% related to DUI or reckless driving. Certainly, I find it hard to believe that Black and Latinx drivers are so far out of compliance.
Free to Move data shows less than 1% of traffic stops in 2021 resulted in the recovery of things like drugs, alcohol, or weapons. It's a big part of their 3 main solutions they're pushing, including stopping pretextual stops, or stops where the intention is to conduct a suspicious investigation so Black drivers can avoid unnecessary experiences.
We want them to feel that they can trust the police officers in their community.
Jasmine Miner, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
We reached out to the Chicago Police Department for comment tonight, but have not heard back yet.
I love that.
That's my favorite. I love those little caveats. Yes.
Oh, the CPD is not responding to this one. Dude, did you hear that? So part of their 3-phase plan to fix Chicago, they're just not going to pull over people for suspicion.
I was thinking, I literally wrote down here, stop and frisk. Wasn't that, didn't we
How
do
they
that?
saved New York?
Stop and frisk, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah. That's how we lowered the crime rate in the 90s.
I don't know why, it just popped in my head, and it's funny because it is an extreme method of policing. However, when crime has gotten so bad, come on, man, maybe you just need to profile, stop, and frisk.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I've even talked about it on here all the time, how you go into these neighborhoods and nobody's following any traffic laws. I mean, they're making it sound like everybody's driving 5 over the speed limit and then they pull over the one black guy in the row of cars. You know what I mean? No, I'm in this neighborhood. I might be the only white guy in the line of cars. We're all stopped at the red light. And then this black gentleman in probably a stolen car goes racing by on the sidewalk.
Oh, wow, really? I've never seen that one before. That's hilarious.
No, that's the guy they pull over. That's what I mean. You could even blow red lights and shit. Dude, just today, this guy stopped at a yellow like a I went into the left turn lane and then drove through the intersection on the red. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, come on. Nobody cares about that shit. You gotta literally drive on the fucking sidewalk. You have to almost take out pedestrians before they pull you over.
I didn't know that was a thing. Like, you could get away with that now? It's amazing.
What?
Just driving on the sidewalk? Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, sidewalks a little rough. But so they did this fucking whole thing in Chicago where they reduced all the lanes so they could put this stupid bike lane. So now you have a parking lane then a bike lane.
Dude, I've noticed this all over Denver. Now we have 2 lanes going opposite ways when we could have 4 lanes total.
4.
Because we
a parking lane.
Because, well, here in Denver, I've forgiven the no parking, right? Let's just say no parking. We could literally have 4 lanes total, 2 on each side, but instead you have the space to the curb, the bike lane, and then this second space with lines on it so the cars, I guess, don't hit the bikers.
Yeah, so what they do is you have your your driving lane and then your parking lane, and then in between the parked cars and the sidewalk is the bike lane.
I say this every day on the road with Emma. Denver needs to elect a Republican who runs on the single platform of I'm going to pave and paint over all bike lanes across Colorado.
Let's make Chicago move. Somebody run on the slogan, make Chicago fucking move. Can we move? No, but my point is, so now a lot of guys, what they'll do is you're kind of riding 2 wheels on the sidewalk and the other 2 in the bike lane.
That's right, yes.
So, on the sidewalk, it's gray area.
Right.
But my whole point is they're also going to ban all right turns on red.
I know.
So it's like you guys can't even enforce simple traffic laws.
I feel like we've been discussing this a lot over the last year. The more you commute throughout these major cities, the Democrat run, well, I guess they're all Democrat cities. As you commute through them, you really get this sense of there are more rules being in place as time goes on to make this less functional, less efficient. It seems as if they're purposely making this hurt. The pain is the point, almost. Like they don't want you driving.
That's... I don't know if it's that they don't want you driving.
They don't want you driving, man. They want to take away our cars, and they don't want us cruising in our gas guzzlers, man. I'm telling you, the more I take a look at how Denver is operating and being designed, all I can see is you guys are just making it so hard to drive a car here that you're purposely making it impossible.
And I gotta tell you, man, I know I harp on this. Dude, today I saved myself at least 20 minutes. Because I had the GPS on, you know what I mean? It kept trying to get me to sit in traffic to wait so that I could get on the highway. To sit in traffic.
Right, oh, yeah.
And I'm not even joking, dude. I went almost the whole way home. And then it told me to turn right on Harlem. And I was like, all right, man, I'm all the way out here. I'm close. Maybe I'll start listening to it. As soon as I turned right, gridlock. I literally turned right. I didn't even stop. I just did a U-turn.
It's almost Truman. That's a Truman Show scenario, dude. Like all the cars just arrive at one time, man.
I'm not even joking, dude. And then the minute I did the U-turn and went back on the road I was on, the GPS rerouted and took 4 minutes off my travel time.
Wow.
Like, why? Why?
Well, I've had this theory going for a long time. Emma thinks I'm nuts, and I am, but I'm a tinfoil hat fella, so I think it all kind of works together. But I believe that there are provocateurs on the road. There are agents who are out there to disrupt the flow of traffic purposely, to just mess with the psychology of humanity in the major cities. And I believe I've pinpointed who are the perpetrators of this, which are they are unmarked white work trucks. and they are pickup trucks, and they're cruising in the left lane way too slow, clogging up the traffic on purpose, creating havoc. I swear to God.
Oh,
I've
you
been
guys got
seeing it
Polacks
everywhere.
out there too?
Yeah, they're Polish. How'd you know that? Damn Polacks.
Yeah, you can tell by the giant fucking pumpkin head that you can see through the rear window.
Now they're all Ukrainian, man.
Ah, dude.
The Polish don't want to come to America anymore, dude. They're sticking in Poland. I would rather be a Pole in Poland than any other country in the world.
It's so funny that you said that. I was literally looking up the other day. I was literally thinking, where can I move? I mean, we've become a country I'm not even proud of anymore. I don't know if America will bounce back from this moral
decay.
slump
Yeah,
we're
the rot is in the core. We must jump ship before it's too late. I'm also looking at citizenship in our home countries that we're from.
I literally told this other guy, this guy the other day, like, you're literally like you're crying and you're so upset about Palestine, right? The Palestinians. Do you think the Palestinians would be waving an American flag and saying ceasefire if we were invaded by Mexico? and they were just, you know what I mean? And they were just killing us. No, they would be cheering. They'd be shooting off fireworks just like they did on 9/11.
Oh, you're psycho, bro. I was just going to say, show anyone images or video of the celebrations throughout the Muslim world on 9/12.
3,000 dead Americans, innocent Americans, was the highlight of their year.
That's right, man.
Yes. They all loved it. It was great. It was a celebratory event.
Little did they know we would bring upon them shock and awe. Losers.
And I was part of the greatest thing ever. George Bush's troop surge.
Remember the troop surge? Oh, I remember the troop surge, man. I was an impressionable young man during the time of 9/11 and the invasion of Iraq, and I was very much so against the invasion of Iraq. I believed the Iraqis had nothing to do with 9/11, and I thought it was a grab for land and oil, and now I'm older, I'm smarter, I'm a little bit more informed, I understand a lot of things historically on a grander scale, and I could see clearly that the reason we invaded Iraq was so Hillary Clinton could get to the tomb of Gilgamesh and capture the Stargate to travel to the other dimensions and become one with the demon soul.
All I gotta know is Kurt Russell in this one too? Or... Stargate.
We could only get James Spader, unfortunately. He was the only one willing to return.
Obviously, he hasn't done anything since that stupid movie. And I don't even know if that's really the guy. I just assume that's the with the glasses.
It is. How'd you know?
Yeah. I can tell by your name, buddy. Pretty on point.
Spader. Yeah, you could just see it. Oh yeah.
I don't know how we got.
I almost passed out with that one, dude. I ran out of breath. That was incredible.
I like that, the Gilgamesh theory. That's
my favorite, man. It's the whole reason we went into Iraq.
See, I disagree. I think I don't think Hillary was the true evil. I think it was Pfizer all along and the pharmaceuticals. I think we invaded those countries to take over opium fields so that we could supply the opium epidemic.
Absolutely.
Opioid epidemic.
Yeah, and I never read the book Scanner Darkly by Philip K. Dick, and I'm a fan of the Philip K. Dick. I've read several of his.
His name is Phil Dick?
Philip. He likes to go by Philip.
So government papers, he's Dick Phil? I'm looking for a Dick Phil. Come on, guys, I need my Dick Phil.
Philip K. Dick wrote the story Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which was made into the movie Blade Runner.
Ooh, great movie.
And a great novel. and a quick read for anyone who has the time and the interest. He has incredible stuff. He was writing wild sci-fi, man, back in the 50s. It's crazy. Stuff that blows your mind. And now I forgot how I got onto the Philip K. Dick. That's hilarious. Scanner Darkly. And so Scanner Darkly, to point in your direction with the pharmaceutical companies being behind our engaged wars there over the last 20 years in the Middle East, especially Afghanistan with the poppy fields, and Scanner Darkly in the movie that came out several years ago with, what was it, Donnie Jr. and Keanu Reeves, I believe, is in it. It's about an undercover cop who goes in and he infiltrates this new drug that's taken over everyone, and it takes place in this future scenario. And then it turns out it's like this: the government runs this giant like poppy field, essentially, like in some ancient or some outside territory. And that's I think that's based on reality. I think that's the truth of our world. That war, more likely than not, was designed to get us into Afghanistan and have control of those poppy fields.
For sure. I think it was a combination of no matter how you cut it up, we invaded those countries for the resources.
And I like how you said cut it up with pills. That's good. That's a good line, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good times. But Frank, before we run out of time here, there's one war I really got to talk about.
And what is that, my man?
And it's really funny because we were talking about it on Sunday at the Sunday breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got to know what you have. What is going on with Starbucks?
Ha! Hey-o! I haven't had Starbucks. I thought about it this morning when I clipped this in maybe over a year. I was on vacation somewhere, I think, and we got some Starbucks on the fly. And I'm going to lead into Starbucks.
Thousands of Starbucks workers who are set to strike at 100.
Frank should told me to put in my 4-point harness. Man. Jesus Christ. I sucked right into that speaker.
People, we are talking G-force winds here, all right? We need you to strap it in. I'm sorry, I forgot to warn you. I forgot myself.
I thought hurricane season was over. That's my favorite line from Jay Franco. Speaking of which, dude, hurricane season's over. We had one hurricane that they tried to blow way out of proportion, and then the not hurricane that never came in California.
Not only that, they're trying to make it rain and snow so hard here in Denver. They're flying the chemtrails like you would not believe, more than I've ever seen. But we just have this...
Oh, Jared's Polis is going roof to roof just holding the hose.
He literally... Jared's in a rough spot, dude. He lost his Proposition HH. He's in a bad way. He's got to call an emergency session. He's not happy. But they're flying the chemtrails, but it's just not doing the job. And I think the reason is I don't think they can tap into the cold atmosphere that we had last year, create all that weather. I believe because of the El Nino this year, we have a massive, just beast of warm weather flowing through here, and they just can't work with it.
Can't win them all, Jerry.
Sorry, guys. We'll get them. We'll get them next year in La Nina. All right.
No, that doesn't happen.
No, we just had a La Nina.
Yeah, you don't get La Nina. It's not like a 1-for-1.
Oh, I know. I
don't think, is it?
No, I wasn't serious. I don't know.
You got me thinking.
Well, now that I think about it, we were in La Nina, and then they were like, "What? Now we switched to El Nino." This came out of nowhere, and they were talking about how it was shocking to them and threw off all their predictions.
I'm really mad because I was pretty sure it was going to be El Ninx.
Oh, do I have to bleep that? What was that? I don't know. Is that something against the Chinese?
El Ninx. I mean, El Ninx and La Ninx. How do you? Well, no, how do you?
Yeah,
La Nina and Nino. How would you do? Just
Tinks. Yeah, I see what you're doing here.
You know what I mean? La Ninx and El Ninx.
It took me a minute.
You're still feminizing or with the La and the L.
Their stuff doesn't make sense. And yeah, how do the gender pronoun nut jobs out there deal with the fact that we were in a La Nina, but now we're in a El Nino? right?
Like I literally have I have neighbors that are married, and it's Francisca and Francisco. It'll just be Francis X for both.
The corruption of the language is really where the whole movement dies. It just doesn't make sense to most people. Pretty much everybody.
That sounds like it was made up by a white guy who doesn't understand the language. Yeah.
I'm going to blame all of this 20 years from now because nobody will remember this. I'm just going to blame everything on Ibram X. Kendi. And I'm just I'm just going to tell everybody it was all Ingram.
I found out that's not even his real name.
No, his name's probably like Dave Chester. I don't know why that. I don't know who that is, but sorry, Dave. Dave Chesterfield.
His real name is Ibram Henry Rogers.
Of course. Wow, I was not too far off with Chester.
You really weren't.
Oh my god, dude, that's crazy.
So he went from Ibram Henry Rogers. He's like, no, that's not gonna work. Now I'm Ibram Exolani Kendi.
Man, Hank Rogers is a way cooler name.
Oh, you should have gone by Hank.
Hank Rogers, man.
Oh,
he also
really missed the boat.
He could be Black Mr. Rogers.
He could have been the Black Mr. Rogers.
I mean, his name is literally Mr.
It's
Rogers.
literally Rogers. Oh, you fucking fucked up, dude.
Like
And Mr. Rogers died.
Oh, dude, Mr. Rogers, that's just a wholesome name. Like, why would you go away from wholesome and be X Kendi?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Although the X is pretty cool. I wish my middle name was an X.
I don't know. What's with these power players and the letter X, man? Like, Elon loves X. His kid's name is X.
What if Ibram X Kendi now changes it to Ibram Twinder Kendi?
Oh,
that would be a power move.
No, you're psycho. I was just thinking his middle name now is formerly known as Twitter.
I should have let you have that one. Such a better joke.
Ibram, formerly known as Twitter, Kendi.
Soon to be Ibram, formerly known as Intellectual Kendi.
Yeah, he's getting destroyed right now. I haven't really read up on it, but oh man. Oh, that was good.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, those Starbucks.
Let's do it because it's really retarded. I know you'll love it. Here we go.
Thousands of Starbucks workers who are set to strike at hundreds of stores across.
We got from his airflow through his
So
teeth
funny.
gap to Ibram, formerly known as Twitter Kendi. That was an amazing stretch right there.
No,
folks.
we have played clips of Michael Strahan a million times. We still get 10 minutes just on the teeth. Just on the teeth.
The country with Johnson.
Doesn't matter what the
Times Square
story is.
location with more on what's being called the Red Cup Rebellion. Good morning, Whit.
Hey, Michael, good morning to you. It's expected to be the biggest strike ever for unionized Starbucks baristas. That Red Cup Rebellion you mentioned is planned for tomorrow.
Didn't you
on
guys
Red
just become
Cup
a
Day.
union yesterday?
No, it never worked. It never happened, dude. You can't unionize this stuff, man. Like, there's like a... Right up front, this Starbucks, I guarantee you, where these kids are protesting, there's probably a line of migrants just looking for work.
Yeah, no, what they don't understand about a union, like there's a reason there's a plumbers union. And that's because plumbers without the union, they can be really taken advantage of, where this company is making an insane amount of money and not giving them anything.
No,
right? And the whole point is nobody else can do the job but these plumbers. So they deserve fair compensation, right? And so they form a union, and then the union says, you better pay us this. And when the owners say no, they say, okay, we're not going to work. And then guess what? Nobody can do the plumbing. But anybody can make a fucking cup of coffee.
In fact, you could probably get some part-time plumbers in there to learn how to do one of those heart-shaped swirls with the cream on the latte, and I probably pay
Coffee
them
might
less.
smell a little different. That's not dirt under our nails, you know?
That's not chocolate garnish on there, man. Be careful.
I love when people go to shake my hand, like, while I'm working. Before I shake it, I always tell them, before I shake your hand, that's not dirt on mine.
Love it. You should always say, Know this, I'm not a baker.
If I was, that would be flour. Get what I'm saying?
When I was a gelato maker, and yes, it's true, I made gelato for a couple years there back in the day, I always smelled like vanilla and chocolate, and I was always just smelling sugary.
Most gay guys do smell like vanilla.
Folks, I don't know if you heard this earlier in the show. We're talking 3/4. 3/4
like,
out that door.
It's funny you say that because, dude, that is like a gay guy thing. They love that vanilla for some reason.
Oh, really? The gay fellas out there, they're into the vanilla flavor?
You ever been to like a gay home?
Not often.
Yeah. You're going to like a home with like two gay dudes.
All right.
I can only speak of Chicago gays in Boys Town.
North Side Boys Town, yeah, of course.
But you walk into the $1 million condo. Gays always have so much money. It's crazy.
Because
2 male incomes.
No kids, man. No kids. Yeah.
So jealous. But you go in there. They always got like it's like a vanilla. I forgot what the other one is.
Wow.
So there's another one that they always do. Yeah.
Vanilla. I didn't know that was the thing with the gay fellas.
It's a big thing with the gays.
We don't hear much about the gay fella community anymore.
Actually, congratulations. You guys are practically just white guys.
I'm going to say that they probably love the tranny movement because now they could just be gay and no one talks about them.
Well, no, now they're in the circle with us straight guys talking shit about the trannies.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the trannies in like the story time hour with the kids, it's so nutty and so insane that the gay fellas, like, that's the tamest thing in the world. It's normal. And, we got the modern family generation rolling through right now.
Yeah, no, there's a reason why, like, the left hates actually, I think that's one of the reasons they don't talk about gay guys. The left hates the idea that people like us on the right have no problem with guys like Dave Rubin.
Yeah, we love Dave Rubin.
I love Dave Rubin,
yes.
dude.
He's cultured, he's smart, like...
Oh, that's not fair because Dave's not gay. But I also like his husband, who is gay. I love when he says that.
I know. And his husband's like a renowned chef. Like, they're awesome.
But tell me
dudes.
one person you've heard talk shit about Dave Rubin. About, you know what I mean? Nobody has a problem with two guys that love each other. They get married. They had their kids, however they did it with the whatever.
That's funny. Nobody does talk shit about Dave Rubin because he's a sensible, practical, pragmatic guy, and he speaks a lot of logic and sense. And he also, what I really respect about him mostly is he's a lot like many people who took that red pill during 2020. He used to be very vocally on the left, and then he admitted he was wrong and had a very, warped sense of reality and changed his opinion and is now a great spokesperson on the right side.
Actually, you could literally just swap out Dave Rubin for Frank or Mike. We both had the same experience.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean? And that's why the fact that he's gay never even comes up. We don't even care. We just like the guy. I like what he has to say. You know what I mean?
Well,
and I respect the fact that he's gay. But I guarantee you, the minute he puts on a fucking rainbow thong and goes parading up and down Michigan Avenue, everybody on the right is gonna be like, "What the hell is wrong with that guy?"
What's interesting about this is I wish people on the other side of the aisle with this culture war and the BLT sandwich community, I wish they would understand guys like Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin being gay is actually the least interesting part about Dave Rubin.
Oh, that's what I always say about everybody. Yes. That is the biggest problem with the LGBTQ movement. You guys are defining yourself based off of the least interesting thing about you.
Yes. Wow me with your intellect.
Yeah.
Or your or your personality, your humor.
I mean, there's a reason Caitlyn Jenner is so accepted on the right. You know what I mean?
I didn't know she was huge on the right. Oh, wait.
Not huge, but like nobody, you never really hear anybody complaining about Caitlyn Jenner. And
I didn't know who you were talking about.
It's because Caitlyn Jenner came out and was like, no, I don't think guys should be reading to kids dressed as women. Yeah,
and Caitlyn's still really stuck close to Bruce. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a fine line. That's a very
Caitlin and Bruce,
fair.
they're hand in hand there, you know?
I mean, she's like 3 of those makeup removing wipes away from Bruce.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right.
Caitlyn Bruce Jenner didn't go the Dylan Mulvaney route, as far as I know.
Well, the problem is Dylan Mulvaney was never an Olympian. You were an Olympian, dude. You were a fucking...
Right, so actually then maybe Dylan Mulvaney has more of kind of like an alleyway or a lane towards that being ladylike, because Dylan in the man version was already kind of ladylike.
No, but here's the problem they're running into is Dylan, yeah, you can be feminine as a teenager and everything, but you start hitting 20s, 27, you're going to start really looking more like a man. You know what I mean? No matter what you do, your body's going to start putting on weight like a man.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And you're
That's
going to
right.
start just having that build of a man. It was really funny. Just today, I was at an intersection. I'm like 5-6 cars back from the light. 2 girls crossing. I'm right by DePaul University.
Oh, yeah.
And one was obviously a dude trying to be a chick. Right?
Yeah, man.
But was like so dressed up like a chick. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking like
Dolled up.
I'm talking tight clothes, hair, makeup. This guy was doing it up trying to be a chick, right? And right behind him was this Asian chick just wearing a hoodie and sweatpants, and her body looked so much better. You know what I mean? Like, she just looked like a female, walked like a female. You could just tell the difference, you know?
On our route with ELO, have dipped into some Roy Orbison, and I was listening to Pretty Woman, and there's a part where he's describing the pretty woman in the song, and he pauses and says, "Mercy." And I was like, yeah, dude, that's how a man feels when he sees a woman. He just says, "Lord, have mercy on my soul." Like, that is just how it feels, man.
Dude, it happened to me today, man. I was walking through Home Depot, and they got these chicks at this one. They're all like these Latino girls. She was like measuring pipe. I don't know what it was about. She was like measuring these things. I was just like, it was so hot, dude. She like caught me staring. You know, it was like one of those moments where she looked at me and I was like, oh my God. I had to like literally like put my chin up. You know what I mean? Like with my hand. I'm like, man, close that jaw. You are drooling. What is going on here?
And do you have a bathroom I could visit really quickly, please?
I would need about 5 minutes. What's your Wi-Fi password?